let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up, and let's go.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, rolling right into the weekend. And if you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the TuneIn app, or the Rush Radio Android app, thank you for taking the time to download the app or apps and taking us on your Android Auto or your Apple CarPlay or wherever you happen to be. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, a lot of comments coming in already. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and of course, start leaving your comments. And we'll see what you guys are all thinking about this morning. Usually, you guys aren't thinking about what we're thinking about, but it's still fun to follow along. And follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Good morning, Ross Peterson. What's going on there, buddy?
What are you thinking about? Some big old boobies?
What am I thinking about?
Big old boobies?
No, not big old boobies.
Okay.
Not big old boobies. No, what I'm thinking about is my age, and signs each and every day that I'm just getting older, and I'm getting older, and I'm getting older. Now this is like a broken record, and I've talked about it several times. August is going to be a big month for me. Of course, this weekend I'm going to become a grandfather. Right, I'm going to become a grandfather. Looking forward to that. And the hard part is my granddaughter's going to be 11 hours away. So the frequency of visits is going to be tough. But, life is going to change for Anjanette and I. Then at the end of the month, we move our youngest daughter out of the house. I've talked about this. She's going to Savannah, Georgia. So we become empty nesters. Yesterday, I thought I was going to the doctor just for blood work, right? I thought it was just my 6-month blood checkup. Okay. I forgot that yesterday was my yearly physical. So when I get to the doctor, they're like, hey, today's your yearly physical, so you won't need a copay. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. So I do the blood work. I go in and, I get weighed. They check the oxygen and the little thing in your finger. They do the blood pressure. Things are looking good. Now, I need to preface this. There's nothing wrong with me, but what I'm about to get into is another sign of age. And I went out with our mutual friend Pat last night because he's leaving on his Camino today.
The guy with the boat that goes up fishing all the time. Apparently lost. I think he lost my number. I think he lost.
Yeah, he said he texted you the other day. And he hasn't heard back from you.
Yeah, he texted me that he heard I'm going on a Camino and he's jealous. That's it. That's all I said was I heard you're going to be walking in Ireland. I'm jealous. I just said. Got a picture of the boat?
We get done with the reflexes and the checking of the throat and all that other stuff. And he goes, anything else, you have any aches and pains? No aches and pains. I said, I kind of got this nagging cough. He goes, yeah, I kind of hear you're kind of nasally. He goes, well, do we need to go to an ENT? But then he looked at my throat. He goes, oh, you got a lot of clear liquid back there. He goes, I think it's allergies. So let's just take a Claritin for a little bit and see if that kind of clears things up. And I'm like, okay. And then I thought about the conversation we had either, I think, last week or earlier in the week on the show about my post-P dribble, right? Yeah. I'm like, do I bring up the post-P dribble?
Yes.
Yeah. And so I go, hey, I got to tell you that, when I think I'm done peeing, I'm not done peeing. He goes, what do you mean? I go, I don't have a hard time peeing because he thought I was having a hard time peeing. I said, no, I go to the restroom regularly. I urinate a lot. It's just when I think I'm done,
sometimes
I
I'm not.
put my pants back up and I look down and I've dribbled some more. So he starts, that kind of concerned him a little bit. And I've had listeners reach out to me and say, you need to go to a urologist. And I'm like, okay, he brought up the urologist. He goes, but we're going to do something before we do that because No, let me back up. He goes, well, that could be a number of things. We weren't going to do this today, but go ahead and drop them. Go ahead and drop them.
Yeah.
So I had to drop the pants because
Okay.
we're going to check the prostate, right? And that's all. And the prostate exam doesn't bother me that much. It's just the whole thought of, he's got an intern in there and somebody's watching me take my pants down and him stick his finger up my butt.
So, hold on. So I just got to clear this up. I love it when you give us an insight into your brain. I love it.
How so?
You don't necessarily care about the man that's about to put a finger inside your butt. You care about the person that's inside the room.
Yeah, I'm like, well, because that should be like an intimate thing between me and my doctor, right? I've got a laptop, and I'm like,
put as many people in there as possible so that I know it's being done in a professional manner.
Yes. I'm like, okay, if you want to watch this,
no, Dr. Nasser, you can leave the door open.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm on the 4th floor, and they've got these windows, but with shades, right? Privacy shades. But the privacy shade was up in like 6 inches. I go,
okay.
Well,
at least I'm poke in.
I'm mooning somebody out there. Somebody's going to get a good pictorial of this.
Okay. So you're nervous about the intern in the room.
Yeah, and so it's always fun when he kneels down and he spreads them. Oh, you got a hemorrhoid here. I'm like, thanks, appreciate that. Does the prostate check? Doesn't take that long. It takes about 5 seconds, right? He goes, hey, your prostate's good. It's not enlarged.
Okay.
We'll check to see if there's any blood in the stool. There wasn't. So this is a sign that you're getting old. He goes, instead of going to the urologist, I'm going to prescribe Flomax. So I am now on Flomax.
Flomax. And Flomax is to maximize your flow. I love it.
He goes, this. I go, well, isn't this for people who have a hard time peeing? He goes, it's used for a lot of things. He goes, sometimes you have a hard time urinating. This opens up the urinary tract. This will also help you continue to maybe finish it all before you think you are done.
Yeah.
And I just walked out of there with the feeling like, say I'm old without saying I'm old by saying I'm on Flomax. So now I'm on Provastatin, 80 milligrams. I'm on Claritin, and I'm on Flomax. See what you have to look forward to in life, Ross, is Flomax.
This is why I don't go to the doctor.
And he kind of scared me with the urologist. He goes, because if you go with the urologist, they're going to go up. And I'm like, I want no part of that. Nope. I go, you just freak me out. I'll take Flomax all day long before you stick something up that way.
Why does that hurt? Why does it?
I know.
It doesn't hurt, but it when you say it, it tingles somewhere inside it. Why?
Because a finger checking your prostate is one thing,
but
right?
you say that, it doesn't make me wiggle. You say, hey, they're going to go up
gel that
there.
finger up. It goes up pretty easy. I don't know how you go up the tiny pee hole. Oh, I'm like, do you numb it? I've never had.
I remember being in high school and or maybe it was even middle school at Hyatt when they were like, hey, if you have sex and they ever need to check you for STDs, this is how they do it. They take a cotton swab and shove it up that hole.
Oh, man. Alan says, it's not as bad as it seems. It just feels like you're pissing constantly. They use a camera with water squirting out.
Can we talk about anything else? Can we can we break down WNBA box scores from last night, please? I would be way more comfortable talking about anything. My buddy, last night I was on the phone with Flagger and we were talking about different stuff. And I don't remember how the conversation got brought up, but do you remember several years ago, Travis, when I bruised my coccyx? I bruised my tailbone. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was catching on a bucket. I was catching for Eli. And I sat down like right on the edge of the bucket. And dude, this pain went through my spine. It was like the weirdest. It's hard to describe. It's like how your funny bone hurts in a different way. When you hit that bone in your elbow and you're like, oh, they call that the funny bone. And you're like, that's not funny.
Nothing funny about
That's
this.
Funny. It's a weird hurt. It's like that. It's the best way I can describe it, through your butt. And then it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away for like a year. Every time you sit down or get up, which, you do a few times in a day, you're like, like, you okay? No.
Yeah, you start, talking about putting cameras up your pee-pee. You're like,
Let's again. How'd the Liberty do last night?
Liberty got beat by the Lynx. The fact that I knew that right off the bat was like, oh no, man. Oh, hey, but a quick reminder, you can come in and give me a hard time about the Flomax tomorrow at Central City Liquors. Ross and I are going to be live at Central City Liquors. Again, this was short notice. We wanted to give you more time, but make plans to come to Central City Liquors tomorrow. The doors are going to open up at 6 o'clock. And what's going to be on the shelves for the first time is that Knob Creek cask strength single barrel whiskey bourbon that is privately labeled for the Rush Radio Show and the Rush with Travis and Ross, as we talk about ourselves in the third person or the first person. So it is, and at the end of the day, $59.99 for a bottle of this type of whiskey. It's not because our name's on it. It would have been $59.99 if it was any other whiskey. It might have been more than that. Brian might have priced this better just because our name's on it. It's like, I don't know if this is going to sell with these guys' names on it. But yeah, we're going to be live. And, Ross, I was thinking maybe we stop and get donuts and say, hey, if you want a donut, come on in and have a donut with us.
Oh, I like that idea. What could we do? I mean, I expect we'll have a few dozen of our friends and our coffee crew will stop in over the 2 hours, right? Yeah, I like that idea. Let's get some donuts or something. And we'll team up with because we have a couple of local donut shops in town that can kill it. And I'm not talking about like the crumble cookie, get a $9 donut with Fruit Loops on it. No. That's not. I mean,
a good glazed donut.
What we can get good donuts.
Yes,
man. But can we get 5:30 donuts?
That's the question. I don't know. Now we could go at like 6:30 tomorrow night and get day old donuts.
No,
but that's mean.
That's
just being cheap.
Right. That doesn't say. That's not the quality that we're trying to.
Yeah.
We're sponsored by Willis Automotive. There's a level here. Okay. There's a level. Day old donuts.
I'm going to have to talk to Jason Willis because, I've been kind of looking at cars lately and I thought, I'm just going to put it off. I don't need another car payment. I don't want to extend it out another 5 years. And my wife saw a car yesterday. She goes, I finally found the car I want. I'm like, really? I go, what is it? She goes, I want a Lincoln Navigator. I'm like,
you say me too?
I go, that's more than the first two houses we bought, sweetheart. Oh, we can get a used one. Okay, that's still more than the first house we bought, sweetheart.
Well, in her defense, almost every car is more than the first house.
That's true. Bought. But, I was thinking, hey, we could do an Expedition again, which is the poor man's version of the Lincoln Navigator. Or we could do a Suburban again. But no, she's like, I think I want a Lincoln Navigator. That's me. That screams me. I said, okay.
I mean, she's kind of right.
Stop it. Don't encourage this. She's not encourage this.
She'll look good in the Lincoln Navigator. That'll fit. That'll be right. Oh. Hey, our buddy Gary Presnell is listening this morning. He says he wants to be the sponsor of our donuts tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Gary, you're the best, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
Well, I tell you what, Chris Meharry just texted and said, Cha-Cha's Highland Park Bakery.
I'll reach out to Highland Park Bakery and see if we can make this happen.
And they know it's very close to Central City Liquors?
Yeah, very close, actually, right up the road.
Cool. So maybe,
that's weird.
Dozen donuts.
That's weird. Why in my brain do I have those two places in two different neighborhoods?
I don't know.
That's strange, Travis. I bet you do the same thing in Omaha. Because in Omaha, you have very distinct neighborhoods, very, very distinct neighborhoods.
Yes, think Valley Junction times 10.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a great example of Valley Junction's a great example. How Eli has a buddy that lives on Grand. And I've taken him to this buddy's house. I know the community. I've taken him to this buddy's house dozens of times. It was just the other day that it clicked to me like, oh, they can walk like through there and they're at Valley Junction. But in my head, they're two totally different neighborhoods. I see Central City as like that just north of downtown. It's a totally different neighborhood. It's industrial. There's a few houses sprinkled in there, but that's an industrial area. Where I think of Highland Park Bakery is up on the hill. There's a little bit more of an older neighborhood there, and again, there's still businesses all around there. I mean,
hold that thought. 515-517-2303. Who's this? All it said in the call screener was Flomax. I know your name's not Flomax.
Mazer.
So, is it Mazer?
It is not. No, this is John.
Hey, John. What's up,
John?
Not too much. How are you, Ross?
Doing well, buddy.
Hey, so I heard Flomax. Very familiar with it. It is prescribed a lot of times, at least for me, has been for kidney stones, and it helps relax the ureter, helps the stone go down to your bladder.
Oh.
However, did he give you what the side effects are, Travis?
No, doctors don't do that. They work for Big Pharma now. They're just like, hey, this is going to help you out.
Okay.
Hold on. Don't scare the hell out of me. What are the side effects?
I honestly, like, I'm more interested in Ross's reaction because he's not the one taking it. When you have sex and you ejaculate, nothing comes out.
It's a dry orgasm?
Yep.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah. You wait till you go to the pharmacist. It's unbelievable.
Oh, is that a good? So
10 times in my life.
Wait, you said wait till you go to the pharmacist. Is that a euphemism? What do you mean?
They'll tell you the side effects. They'll tell you the side effects.
Okay. He said wait till you go to the pharmacist. You'll know what I mean. I thought that was a euphemism for when he and his wife get busy.
I get my prescriptions at the Hy-Vee drive-through. You think that you think the 26-year-old pharmacist is go, hey, Mr. Justice, just so you're aware, when you take the Flomax, you're going to have a dry ejaculation?
I think she might. I mean, when you get new medication, you have to have that consultation, you know. Yeah, I like I said, I've taken that probably 10 times over the years of my life because of kidney stones, and that is, it's yeah.
I got to tell you the funny that just went through my head.
Can you have multiple? Because most guys can't have multiple. Does this mean you can have multiple?
No, It just goes into your bladder is what happens instead of out.
Oh.
I just had
How
a
old
really
of a guy
funny.
are you, John?
So,
yeah. Good questions. These are good questions.
I'll be 54 in a month.
Okay. So
how often do you have kidney stones, John?
Yeah. I had my first one when I was 20. You guys were talking about, with somebody in the room with the doctor. So the first time I had a kidney stone, I had to go over to Iowa City, and they put a stent in me. And there's, only one way to go in there and get that stent in there.
Oh.
And there was a group of college, what do you call them, interns, residents. 6 of them watched the doctor do it to me. But I've probably had 8 kidney stones, and 4 surgeries.
Dude,
I had 2 in the last year.
Okay, obviously you got
good.
something within your body that you're just prone to kidney stones.
Yeah, like I said, I had my first one when I was 20. And then I've had years where I've gone without them. So water is obviously the biggest key for the kind that I have. But some of them are extremely painful, and some of them are not too bad. But yeah, I definitely wanted to share the Flomax side effect with you because I was wondering if you knew.
I mean, I think the last time I had a dry ejaculation was like when I was 14, and after like the fourth time.
Hey, what's really interesting is that you think we want to know. That's what's really interesting is that you think
what's coming to my head.
Yeah, we know that. We know all of it.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear you tell Aunt Jeanette.
Okay, how long does this take to kick in? Is it like immediate?
Oh, right. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I mean, within a few hours.
Travis is going to put that to the test.
You take it daily. You take the Flomax daily. I would also highly recommend taking it before you go to bed.
Okay.
Because it makes you go to the bathroom a lot. It does work. But yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Thanks for sharing.
All right.
Something to look forward to.
You bet. Yes.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
John. Can I tell you the really funny, like, you know, when these I have this thing. I think a lot of people have this where these other conversations are happening in my head while we're talking. And I had this really funny hypothetical scenario go through my head. This entire like SNL skit went through my head there. That what if John is messing with you? Okay.
Oh.
And here's how this plays out. You go to the pharmacy and there's some 22-year-old pharmacist there, and she's like, all right, here's your Flomax. Here's the stuff you need to know. It's going to make you pee more. Don't take it before you go to bed, and you're not supposed to operate heavy machinery. And you go, well, what about my ejaculate?
When I pick it up today, should I ask the person in the drive-thru window, are there any side effects to this? This is my first time on Flomax. Are there any side effects that you need to tell me about?
I hope he's messing with you. I hope to God. Did you see Alan? Yeah. Alan says he's been on a generic Flomax for a while. He says never had a dry toe curl.
Yeah, I'm starting to think John's just got a weird body, because if you're producing like kidney stones like that on a regular basis, there's something wrong with your innards, man. There's something wrong with your innards.
Oh,
as long as it feels the same, that's all I care about. If it doesn't change the feeling, then I don't have to like get the tissue out.
Listen, you can stop. You can stop. Do you know that? Like,
I can't stop, but
I
why?
tell people all the time, I'm like, you know how when you're having conversations, you've been in a room where you're like, oh, I think that person's going over the line. Travis blows by that thing like it didn't exist.
Oh.
Let me tell you about when I was 14. No!
That phone line's been open for months, and it's usually just Derek from New Sharon. We talk about a lot of things: Iowa football, Iowa State football. Flomax comes up, boom. We got to tell you about Flomax.
Well, thanks for listen. I'm glad that you're okay. First of all, because you got me worried. You hadn't said anything to me about going to the doctor or what that was like yesterday. You got me worried the way you started it with like, oh yeah, then the blood work. I was like, oh, this is not going down a good line. So I'm glad that you're all right. And I'm really happy that you actually talked to your doctor about that thing.
My wife actually thanked me last night. She goes, I want to thank you for going to the doctor. She goes, yeah, that means you're looking out for your family. Now, I haven't told her this part of, hey, just to let you know, maybe we can do it more often because nothing's going to come out.
Maybe. Anyway.
By the way, Christian says, Ross, the line was crossed at Hello Friends. Tyler says Travis starts over the line. He never starts at the line. He starts over the line. I'm just preparing you for what you have to look forward to.
I know. My dad has told me many times. I'll repeat it to you several times over the next decades. Getting old ain't for sissies. And you talk to anybody that's older than you, and they'll go, he ain't lying.
So besides the donuts tomorrow, we've had some good suggestions, and I don't know how Brian can work this because he sells product within, but I didn't know if we could reach out to Morgan and have like some Atlantic Coca-Cola bottling product there as well. I don't know if they have an orange juice or a body armor.
They've got the monster coffee drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. We better run all this by Duax. Yes. I mean, it's his business.
Brian,
hey, we're going to give away food inside your...
Brian, you mind if we bring donuts? That's what we're going to do, if we can. If you want to reach out to Atlantic... Again, this is all on the fly. This is really just kind of, a couple days of planning. But this is why we're going to have fun. And you can come in tomorrow and give me a hard time about dry ejaculation.
No. If you want to do that, when you come in, do me a favor. Say, hey, Ross, how you doing? Travis, can I talk to you over here? That'd be best for me. I don't have to hear it.
But I want you to learn with me.
I don't want to know any more about it.
I want to take you on this journey.
I'm good. I've journeyed.
You're good?
Yeah.
You're perfectly fine.
This is one of those places where I've seen the destination. I'm good. Good.
Oh God. That segment went exactly how I wanted it to go.
I figured you
We have, Craig Floss and Eric Peterson are going to be joining us at 7:00. They're probably going, what are we getting into? What are we getting into? Don't worry.
Every time my phone buzzes and it's Gary Presnell, that's the text I'm anticipating. Is what? What?
Oh man. Hey, don't forget the Iowa State Fair is coming up just a week away, folks. And the place to party, the place to have fun is JR's South Pork Ranch. And it's going to be another fabulous year at JR South Pork Ranch. In fact, next Friday, we are going to be live from JR South Pork Ranch from 6 to 8. And Brooks Reynolds is going to be joining us. But there's so much going on at JR South Pork Ranch in the Iowa State Fair, Rob.
Get ready to saddle up and eat at JR South Pork Ranch, home of the original Iowa State Fair lobster roll, and he's taking it up a notch this year. The French lobster meat topped with 3 dollops of, is it creme fraiche? Is that how you say it? Cream fraiche.
Caviar, right?
Crowned with
caviar,
three heaping spoonfuls of caviar. 24-karat edible gold and served on a split-top bun, seared in decadent gold dust duck fat.
Oh, and new this year, the Chicken Pickle Ranch Rocket.
That's really good.
Craft beers, seltzers, slushies, and of course, ice-cold beer or Barntown's Pink Pony Cooler. It's JR South Fork Ranch at the Iowa State Fair starting next week, and we're going to be live next Friday from 6 to 8. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Brendan Santone here with Willis Cadillac. Bringing in the month of July, we are having quite a few specials, especially on the lease side of all 25 EV models, as well as having 26 CT5 and 4s show up. So we do have a few on ground. A few 25 models are available left for the CT4. We do have available Escalades and Blackwings available for you to purchase. Visit us online at williscadillac.com or stop in and visit us here on 100th Street over in Clive at the Cadillac store.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Got a 10-4 for Brian Duax about having donuts. You know, I just saw the Big Sky Bakery ad. Maybe you should reach out and say, hey, do you want to bring a pan of cinnamon rolls?
Oh.
Donuts and cinnamon rolls. Coffee and cinnamon rolls.
I bet Steve might be listening. Well, I will reach out and see what we can do to incorporate them. Whether it's
you got a lot of work to do in the next 24 hours.
Oh, dude. Yeah, and I got a busy day today. Crap. I got to get on it.
And we know how forgetful you are. Hey, Ross, did you do this? Oh, I forgot.
What was the text yesterday with Mark Charter? Ross is forgetful. Only about things I don't care about.
Yeah,
if I forgot about it, it wasn't
I
on my
want 2 bottles. Buy me 2 bottles and I'll pay you back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How about Venmo me that 2 bottles right now?
That's a great idea. That's a great idea for me to. In fact, who else just wants me to buy their bottles for them?
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right. But it's Mark, and I love Mark. And by the way, I know he's good for it.
Is he? Is he good for it?
So yeah,
your invoices, Mark.
Oh, stop. I know. We love us. So, and Mark wants to have us up doing a live thing from the balcony someday, overlooking the pond.
Someday,
I'm going to do that.
That'd be fun.
I could do that on a Thursday or Friday anyway.
Yeah.
Pack up the stuff.
If you really wanted to be mean, you could go live at Willis inside a Lincoln Navigator and go, hey, look at this. Look at this, Trav. Get Anjanette out here and look at this Lincoln Navigator.
I just need to get back out to Willis too. That's a fun place to hang out.
Hey, a quick reminder to pump it up with unleaded 88. It's cheaper, it's cleaner, and it's greener fuel choice. Make it a clear winner at the pump. So pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org for more. Speaking of Iowa Corn, we're going to be talking to Craig Floss from Iowa Corn and Eric Peterson from the Iowa Speedway coming up at 7 o'clock as NASCAR invades the Iowa Speedway this weekend. Got the ARCA race on Friday, got the Xfinity race on Saturday, and, of course, the NASCAR Cup Series race on Sunday with the Iowa Corn 350. Now, jokingly, Ross, because I know how much you love the WNBA. I know how much you love it when I bring up the WNBA.
Okay, it's I don't mind talking. I don't follow the games. I don't watch the games, but I do love the concepts of all the things we talk about.
And of course, on this show a lot, I first introduced you to Sophie Cunningham. This is before Sophie Cunningham became Sophie Cunningham, when she was the enforcer for Caitlin Clark.
That's, by the way, when she I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's when she became Sophie Cunningham. That's that's such a rude thing to say because she's always been Sophie Cunningham. That was her coming out party.
100%. Don't disagree with that at all. No, I knew her beforehand because I'm a creepy old guy and she's pretty darn hot, and she has a nice Instagram account and stuff like that. So I was kind of aware of her. But when she went to the defense of Caitlin Clark, she skyrocketed into fame, and some people like her, some people don't. People became more aware of her. The outfits she wears before games, she's not afraid to flaunt it by any means. When that happened, her Instagram accounts, all her social media accounts, she skyrocketed to over 1 million followers. And the truth is, some people embrace that. Some people back up and go, oh my God, she has totally embraced this attitude thing. It's like, it was like freeing her. So what happens when you start to get more popular? Well, you do something new. She launched a podcast yesterday, Ross. She now has a podcast. So why not, right? Like, hey, how do I capitalize? How do I maximize this? Now, podcasts are interesting because there's 8 million zillion podcasts out there. A lot of people produce content. It's not easy. And so you gotta say something or be pretty provocative to draw attention to it. And I thought she did this yesterday as she launched her first episode, where Caitlin Clark came up. And I'm going to go back to the book by Christine Brennan, where Christine Brennan followed Caitlin Clark her entire rookie season, kind of the animosity internally between other players not accepting Caitlin Clark, saying, hey, we paved the way, others paved the way. You're not the face of the league. There's so many other players out there. It's just not one person. I don't think they see this holistically and for what it is. Sophie Cunningham yesterday said something that we haven't heard a WNBA player say. And it was to me, the hard truth. And it'll be interesting to see how she's accepted or how this is accepted by other WNBA players. Here's what she said.
And it literally pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league, or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as fuck.
I mean, it's the way people talk, right? I mean,
yeah.
How will that go over with people around the league?
Let's just talk about. I don't want. My brain's going in the wrong direction of where I want to have this conversation, because what she says is right. What she said is what you and I have said many times. Of like, you don't have to be the best player in the league. You don't have to be the face of the league. You don't have to be the best player on the team to be the face of the team. And oftentimes that happens where it's not the case. Everything that she says there is right. I did hear another thing that she said, Travis, where she talked about the clip that I saw. She was talking about her follower count, the thing that you mentioned earlier. that before that altercation where she does the Muay Thai clinch, where she, when she grabs the girl by the back of the neck with both hands. Before that, she had like 100,000 followers on Instagram. It went tenfold. She went over 1 million, like you said.
Yeah, boom, skyrocket.
Overnight, it went from 100,000 to 1 million, and it was because. And why is that? Because the face of the league, you all of a sudden were riding the coattails of this incredible comet flying through outer space. You were always Sophie Cunningham. You were always beautiful. You're always in the league.
Always probably had an attitude. You just don't develop an attitude like that.
Right, exactly.
You've had that.
Yeah. And Travis, you telling me a little bit about her story, that attitude's very real. She's a tough kid. She grew up as a tough kid in a tough environment. Going to, what was it? Not jiu-jitsu, taekwondo or something like that, tournaments or karate.
She was a black belt, because I've learned that to be a black belt, you have to maintain that status. You taught me that.
Apparently. I'm with S. Williams, and I think this is where a lot of people are. I'm not sure who the best player in the WNBA is. Maybe it's Asia Wilson.
Maybe it's Brianna Stewart. It's
Could
not Caitlin Clark.
There's a list of people it could be. Certainly not right now. She doesn't even play.
Yeah.
Who's the face of the league?
Caitlin Clark.
Who's the face of women's sports?
Caitlin Clark.
Who's the face of sports right now? Who's a more popular athlete on the planet?
Caitlin Clark.
I don't know of one. Than a female who's not actually out on the court right now. When she's out there and she's hitting those threes and she's going for 40 points and all that, is she the best player in the league? Man, on those nights, yeah. Is she every night? You can't say that. Every night she's the face of the league. No other player has cards selling for $600,000.
No other player brings in people to opposing arenas more than Caitlin Clark does. And that's what she's trying to say, is that if you deny that internally, you're, as she said, you're dumb. You're just dumb. As she dropped an F-bomb. It'd be literally. It'd be interesting to see how other players take that. Because when you read this book by Christine Brennan, the jealousy that exists within this league is astounding, and it's a wake up call. And she actually, I think, early in the podcast or later on, it's a long episode, and a lot of people must have watched it because they're saying, "Hey, she said this." She went in into how when she was part of Phoenix last year, how they would defend her, and she's now saying it's going too far. I mean, trying to rough her up, all that.
We said this. We said, again, without watching the games, just watching the concepts, we said this. When they started bringing in other players, we said, oh, this is a good thing, because now those players will be able to come in, meet Caitlin, and go, hey, by the way, here's the things that they're doing in other locker rooms. Here's the strategies that they're trying to employ to get you off the ball, to get you off your game, to knock you off your rhythm. And they come in and they go, hey, it's way worse than you think.
By the way, the Fever won last night. They beat Phoenix 107-101. Sophie had 12 last night. Ari McDonald, who replaced Caitlin Clark in the lineup, actually had a career-high 27 points, 10 for 10 at the free throw line, 3 for 4 from behind the arc. Indiana shot the ball well. They've won 3 in a row, 14-12 now. Again, waiting for that return of Caitlin Clark. But, again, that's a different dynamic, too. You start getting in a flow, and then you insert said superstar back in. How do you reacclimate to that? But that's our WNBA talk. And again, wasn't game talk, but just something happened off the court.
The Sophie Cunningham stuff is really cool. It is.
Yeah. I mean, if she keeps doing content like that, I'll listen to that because it's real. All you want is authenticity. You want real. You don't want that. Wasn't coach speak. That wasn't player speak. That was just man.
Can I tell you what you liked about that? It's not her being hot. It's not her being hot. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
You liked that was about Caitlin.
Yeah, but I think if you hear that about anybody, that authenticity behind it, I think I would. You're right. I probably got more fired. If it was about anybody else, would we have played it? Probably not. But because it was about Caitlin Clark, 100%.
It got to your world. It found you. WNBA players are doing podcasts. Like you talked about, there's 6 bajillion podcasts. There's a Filipino basketball podcast. I know because we used to air the commercials for it all the time, telling me how great it was going to be. Right after Ron Burgundy and right before Dudes on Dudes. And so it's been out there.
If our show would have got promoted like those podcasts did, they may not have had to fire.
Remember the day I got in trouble for the meeting where I was like, hey, I don't think we should be telling people to turn off our radio shows. What are you talking about? That's what we're doing. Hey, if you're not enjoying this, you can find me and Julian Edelman.
That's right, Jules. Dudes on Dudes.
Or you can hear about the Filipino Basketball League. And there are WNBA players who have been doing this real content, talking about this stuff, and it doesn't find its way to your world. It doesn't get this sort of traction because it's not attached to that rocket ship called Caitlin Clark. You like it because Ryan is right. Ryan says, I like it because it's not PC. It's straight truth. I completely agree with you. That's what helps it, but that's not what cut through the noise to you guys. You understand? Do you get what I'm saying here? It's not.
I know what I agree with you. I'm not pushing back on
the fact that it was about Caitlin is the reason why we all saw it on our social medias. WNBA players have been doing stuff like this for a while. There's a lot of stuff out there of them being honest and real and talk, but this one's about Caitlin.
One of your own. I mean,
there you go.
That's
good. Yeah. That we're all guilty of that tribalism thing, and Caitlin is part of our tribe. Caitlin is in our tribe, and whether she knows it or not, whether she wanted to be in our tribe or not, she is, and we're all like we feel in some way like protectors of her in a way. And so then Sophie shows up, she's doing it on a big stage. We all go, yeah, our team.
Ross, what's the most important thing in baseball? I shouldn't say the most important thing, but baseball is a truly situational game, right? And you like in basketball, like in football, baseball, you got to know your situations. How many times when you were a coach, did you teach situations?
Oh, it's the thing. It's the best instruction to yell when your team is in the field. Know what you're doing if the ball is hit to you. That's the thing you teach kids is when the pitcher's getting set, you think to yourself, okay, if the ball is hit to me, what am I doing? So you know before the ball gets hit to you, if it's in the air, what am I doing? Same thing if you're on the bases.
How many outs?
You got to be aware. I was at a Major League Baseball game, Travis, where this happened once. I know where you're going with this.
Adam Wells last night was on first base for the New York Yankees. It's tied at 3 in the 9th inning. There's 1 out. The Yankees are trying to get the win in the bottom of the 9th. You got a runner on first. What do you do, Ross? You're going to sacrifice bunt to move Wells from first to second. The sacrifice bunt works. Wells is at second base. There's 2 outs now. He was not aware of how many outs there were out in the game, or there were in the inning. He thought there were 2 outs. Why the hell would you bunt with 2 outs? And so what happens is he gets to second, runner's out at first. He starts lollygagging back to the dugout, and Tampa's very aware of what's going on, and they get him in a pickle, and they end the inning on a stupid play. Couple things here that bothered me about it. A, Wells not knowing that, and he even said, dumb, I should have known better. At least he owned up to it, didn't just try to make an excuse. Can't happen at the major league level in the bottom of the 9th inning, tied at 3. But where was I was watching the first base coach, and I'm like, you're looking at him. Why aren't you saying, get on the bag? Get on the bag. Because there was time to get back to second.
So a couple things there, Travis. First of all, I don't think he necessarily had time to yell back. I think that the first base coach was probably just as shocked as everybody else. Like, the hell's he doing? And did he call timeout? And he's bringing something. Like, it would take a second for your brain to process what he's doing. Even the first baseman. First baseman catches the ball. He's kind of jogging back to the pitcher, like we've seen a billion times. You even see him kind of looking like
is he walking back?
Is he what? Thurns throws to second. They just run and tag him out. And even Wells, when they throw behind him, then again, takes the brain a second to be like, wait, why are we still playing baseball? I'm going to play defense. What's going on? Dude. That's bad. That's bad. And it's the type, like, this stuff happens in a high school baseball game, and you're like, hey, man, come on. Stay in the game.
Get your head in
the
game.
game. Right. Hey, this is a big moment, man. Final inning, you're the winning run. We're sacrificing an out to put you into scoring position.
Because we got bats behind you. We think we can get you home. He's probably running the second going, who the hell lays down a bunt with 2 outs?
Yeah, Travis, that's a good point of like, now he bunts it down the third base line, and it is kind of a difficult play for that third baseman. So maybe he was thinking, he was trying to fool him there. Yeah. I don't know. I remember this happened when I was a kid. We were at Wrigley Field watching the Mets and the Cubs. And I think it was Darryl Strawberry he was playing right field. If I remember I think the way that this worked was he caught Ron Say is on first. Fly ball gets hit to right field. Darryl Strawberry catches it, thinks it's the third out of the inning, puts his head down and starts jogging in to the field very slowly. Ron Say tags up maybe from second to third or something. So that's one in the outfield where if you're not, that situational awareness. Somebody wrote that in the group chat. That's the word for it. Situational awareness.
I mean, hell,
damn.
I mean, again, the highest I ever got was high school ball, but during baseball practice, it wasn't just taking infield and batting practice. Most of the practice was situations. Runners on first and second, runners on first and third. Here's the out, and you just situation routine over and over and over again. I mean, you see players get fined all the time for, making comments. To me, that's like a finable offense. It's like, okay, you're getting fined for not knowing that. Now, it worked out for the Yankees. They ended up winning in 11, 5-4.
Yeah. It didn't. It ended up working out for the Yankees. They ended up winning the game. But Travis, this is again like when you're a kid, you're taught, and when you're a coach, you teach kids physical errors. I can't be mad at those. I can't be mad at physical errors. Mental errors are things we can avoid. Dusty's a big Yankees fan. Dusty says Aaron Boone is the common denominator. Trav, I'm telling you, more and more Yankee fans are moving off the Aaron Boone train. He's had great lineups.
Best in baseball.
Maybe right there with the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so one of the best lineups in baseball, and has not delivered what the Yankees need him to deliver. As a Yankee fan, I think I'm there. I like Aaron Boone. Seems like a really fun guy, really nice guy, good manager. Somebody else deserves the opportunity to try to win number 28 for the Yankees.
Number 28.
I
just think of Wells going back to the dugout. How that's like the walk of shame, right? I mean, you're dealing with some of the biggest names in baseball, and you got to walk back to the dugout going, I can't believe I just did that. Cannot believe.
That's why when you talk about the first base coach, as he's walking back, he gets tagged running back. It's a very strange situation because again, he rounds second, and he's coming back to the first base dugout, and so he's running towards the first base coach as he gets tagged. You can kind of see the first base coach too, like, the hell are you doing?
Oh. If you haven't seen it yet, it's all over the internet because most people are like,
pretty bad.
Wow. Yeah. Again, coming up at 7:00, Craig Floss from Iowa Corn and Eric Peterson from the Iowa Speedway going to be joining us. Real quickly, do you see Shannon Sharp no longer with ESPN?
I did see that. Yeah. I saw a uncouth headline that said Shannon Sharp fired for a horrible suit.
Now, of course, Shannon Sharp was accused of rape by his former girlfriend. He has not been on ESPN since April. That's when the allegations came out. And The Athletic reported yesterday that ESPN and Shannon Sharpe have parted ways after a civil settlement. So instead of going to court and say, hey, when you settle out, it's not admitting guilt, but it's hey, I'm just going to pay to make this thing go away.
Hasn't he avoided? I'm not. Hasn't he dodged a couple of different bullets here that I thought were? There's been a few times they've been like, oh, okay, well, there's the end of Shannon Sharpe. Woo, right past him. You go, whoa, he dodged that one. He's going to be all right here. He had
mean having sex live on Instagram?
One of the many things.
One of the many things. He might have got out of Fox because look what happened with Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless. He probably got out of Fox at the right time. None of that. And you get out there, you end up with Stephen A. Smith. Then you go live on Instagram. You're banging one out. And just to claim, what was it? At first it was like somebody had access to my account and we went live and then I hit the wrong button. And you're like, that's not adding up. That does not add up.
So I'm not surprised to hear that Shannon Sharpe's no longer with ESPN. It's awful when you have these allegations.
The thing is, he could still do Club Shay Shay, but if you're a guest, you want to go be a guest on that. Now you're almost like, I think I need to stay away. He's not going to end up on Fox anymore. ESPN's not going to take him up. CBS probably going, no, don't think so. Now he's a Hall of Famer. If he saved his money correctly, he should be okay. But to continue to be the personality that he is, that's going to be a harder one to pull off just to get people to come on your show. Could be like, Shannon, I like you, buddy, but that's probably not good for my own public persona to come on there and have a conversation with you.
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. We should talk. Off the air, you're not going to talk about that. Who would you, if you're in that position, what direction do you go? What's your first step?
You disappear for a year and a half.
Yeah, you got to be quiet. You got to disappear for a little while. You're right.
Yep.
That's step one. Yep. We joke about it sometimes, but it's very real. You got to find God. You got to find God, and you got to, and then you got to proclaim it to everybody. And whether that's real or not, it's part of the playbook. Disappear, apologize, find God, and then you come back and then you have your podcast. And you call it Club Redemption or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah. See?
515-517-2303. When we come back, scheduled to join us, Craig Floss from Iowa Corn and Eric Peterson from the Iowa Speedway. We're talking NASCAR. They're running the cars at Iowa Speedway this weekend. We'll get you geared up for the wild weekend of racing on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
This July, splash into savings at Willis Chevrolet at Granger, where the deals are heating up and the prices are cooling down. Right now, get 0% for 36 months on the rugged and reliable Silverado 1500. Looking for a mid-sized truck? Drive off in a new Colorado with lease payments starting at just $399 a month. Head to Willis Chevrolet of Granger today or visit us online at willischevy.com and make a splash with your next ride.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels. There's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the Natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Great to have you here. We're here till 8 o'clock. Of course, if you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and start leaving your comments in the comment section. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Ross, you know what I like? I like people who are on time. You know me about time. I like people who are on time, and this is great because we're going racing, and it's going to be a big racing this weekend. And joining us on the Rush Radio Show, and this is a first. Craig Floss from Iowa Corn and Eric Peterson from the Iowa Speedway. We've never had a double interview before, so now we've got 4 boxes in the screen. This is throwing me off completely, guys. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Oh, man.
Travis, I really like that Iowa Corn trophy. See, I've got one. You can barely see mine. I've got an old version of it with the old gas tank there and the corn inside. That's a good-looking Iowa Corn trophy right there, Trav.
Yeah, sure is. This is going to be the one in Victory Lane on Sunday after the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. So I got a hold of this thing prior to the weekend.
Oh, nice. Craig, it's good to have you with us. You're with Iowa Corn. You've been with them for a while now. Why get involved with NASCAR? Why get it? Well, there's a number of reasons to get involved, but what is Iowa Corn and what does this mean for just the organization and it being involved with NASCAR?
Yeah, for us, NASCAR is an outstanding platform to be able to showcase the power and performance of one of our most important products, and that's ethanol. NASCAR burns an E15 blend. And so for us to be able to show consumers and the race world alike just how important and how effective ethanol could be in those high-tech NASCAR running around the Iowa Speedway, that's really what it's all about for us. And we've been able to show basically that all the promotions we do add huge amounts of value, not only to Iowa's farmers, but Iowa's economy and throughout the Midwest. So for us, it's really a natural fit.
Craig, can we go back to kind of the beginning of this relationship with NASCAR? I mean, Travis kind of alluded to it there. An amazing opportunity for us Iowa folks. This was kind of a dream come true when they started the track that NASCAR might potentially one day consider us. When that opportunity was presented to you, what was your reaction and how did that kind of all lay out?
Actually, I have to go all the way back to the beginning of the track in Newton in 2006. We were first approached as Iowa Corn about potentially being a sponsor. And of course, for us, being good stewards of Iowa corn farmer dollars, we had to say, well, what is it that can help us with our product? And at the time, there was no race circuit using ethanol. Then in 2007, something pretty cool happened, and that was the IndyCar series decided they were going to go to 100% fuel grade ethanol. So that opened the door for us to begin our 12-year partnership with the Iowa Speedway. with the IndyCar series at the time. And it just really allowed us to showcase again ethanol in such a great way, not only to consumers, but to policymakers, regulators, et cetera, to say, look at what this fuel can do. In the beginning, however, the big prize was always the opportunity to potentially work with NASCAR. Yeah. So many eyeballs, so many people looking at that, and not just to reach here in Iowa or the Midwest, but actually globally, a lot of people following NASCAR. So when I got the call from a former track person, it was Jimmy Small at the Iowa Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy. Jimmy called. I hadn't talked to him for probably a year, and he called and he said, hey, just checking in, wanted to see how the family was doing. Give me a call. So I called him, and I had no idea what he was going to propose to us. And that was the opportunity. He said, look, this is confidential. There are only 3 people in Iowa who know this, and you're one of them. And we need you to keep a tight lid on it. Would you consider, do you think your board, would your farmer leaders consider the opportunity to be the sponsor of NASCAR? The Cup race is finally coming. And again, you got to go back to working with Rusty Wallace, designing the Iowa Speedway. That was his goal from the beginning. I mean, he designed that track with NASCAR in mind. And so, long story short, we went to work really fast, and we figured out how we could be involved in that first year last year, and it turned out to be a great success.
God, you bring up Rusty Wallace, and it's funny, and I'm showing my age, and I remember when Rusty did the barnstorming tour all around the state, and he would go to, and he'd fly his jet in, he'd do it in the hangar of an airport, but he'd do this huge presentation laying out that goal. Eric, you came in last year right before the first Cup race. This was the dream. What are you hearing from NASCAR about? A lot of these drivers drove on it during the Xfinity series, right? And we'd cover that. But obviously, to come back for a second year was a big deal. There's no guarantees. How do you get yourself in the regular rotation where we can count on this every year, or is that just going to be crossing our fingers after every year?
No, I think there's some work that goes into that, right? So coming into to Iowa last year, meeting Craig, working with the Iowa Corn team, that was a really good start to this relationship and Racing Cup here. So although myself and our family is a little bit newer to Iowa, about a year and a half now, I've been with the sport for about 15 years. So had some pretty good exposure on different racetracks. So when you have a partner like Iowa Corn that not only commits from the beginning, but activates all year round, puts us in a really positive position. So that and the race selling out so quickly year over year, that also puts us in a really good position. So what our team has been able to do from 2024 to 2025 is how can we focus on the fan experience and really amplifying and improving that. So what you'll see over this weekend is with the addition of things like crossover gates, improvement of our fan walk area, which is down in the infield by where the cars are gridded. I just think that those additional amenities for fans coming out is just going to ensure that we're going to continue selling tickets and continue selling this out, hopefully year after year.
Go ahead, Travis.
No, go ahead, Ross.
I was just going to say, Travis and I are always fascinated by logistics, Eric, of these big events, and you guys go from you have a big change coming up this weekend. As you prepare for this logistics thing, is this a nightmare? Is it a dream come true? What? Because this is a totally different game than.
Yeah, it is. So I like to say we have a full-time staff here of about 9 people, but then that goes to a couple thousand on a race weekend. So and that's pretty standard for most tracks. But it's actually, I would say, probably the best part of what I get to do, and I've thought that from the very beginning. So yes, there are a lot of logistics involved. There's no question. So we work with state, local, and county officials on parking. So you start from the beginning, and people are driving out to the racetrack, and you look at these pillars. What are some pillars that we need to nail to make sure that people are having a good time? And I learned something early in my career from my boss, Pat Warren, who oversees our Midwest region, is if I'm bringing my family to an event, what are some things that are going to affect me either positively or negatively? So we tend to focus on parking. We tend to focus on traffic flow, concessions, just everything from front to back. So that, we're planning for the full year for this race. But then again, we have a really good support system with NASCAR that's running weekend to weekend to weekend. So by the time they're here, which most of them have arrived this week from a competition standpoint, from a security standpoint, they're pretty dialed in, and we've gone through, and we're kind of known in this industry for having these minute by minutes, and we literally have everything down to the minute because we work so closely with NBC and TV, and we don't want anything to delay that green flag for the race. So it's actually a lot of fun when you really look back at it after the race weekend, after everything is successful, right?
And then our race weekends, kind of like we've probably all been through a wedding or a graduation party or something where, do you actually get to enjoy race day?
A little bit. Actually, the wedding is probably a pretty good analogy. So
Yeah.
you're moving so fast, and we're always worried about so many logistics, but there are a couple points that I've always found enjoyable on a race weekend. And I experienced this last year here in Iowa Speedway too, is you tend to be running around, and we have a political contingency coming out. So just making sure everything is perfect for the fans. So, for example, last year I'm walking through the merchandise haulers, and I'm just take a second to look around, and you see all of these families, and you see kids, and you see everybody that's either at the race for the first time or they've been coming out here for several years, but first time cup race. And you're kind of realizing that what we're doing here is really putting on, it's an entertainment venue, and we're really making memories for all of these people out here. So I really encourage our staff to take a couple of moments on race weekend to look around when all the fans are here and just see when a young kid gets to meet a driver for the first time, and they're covered in Joey Logano gear or Ryan Blaney gear, and they're sitting there getting an autograph. So I think, yes, it does get busy, but really want to take those moments to realize why we do things like this. And I see a lot of that with Craig's team at Iowa Corn too. Their focus really is not only the farmers that are coming out, but I see the interactions with their group and all of our fans that are out here. So, and I think that's why this partnership works so well, is we have we're aligned on a lot of the same values.
Makes
so delivering that experience is always a lot of fun.
Craig, I think you're speaking my language when you brought up value. Ross probably gets sick and tired of me preaching about value because, when we go out and seek advertisers, we offer a free show. We don't ask people. I'm like, I want to show the value you get for being part of this show. Was it hard to sell the value or to your board, to the farmers, or did they understand it right away? Not just, the money spent to sponsor, but, you're all over NBC, you're all over the place. So was that a pretty easy sell when it comes to value?
Well, I think, farmers by nature are pretty conservative. And so while on one hand, they absolutely understood the potential value, we had to work through that whole value proposition to make sure that the return could be there for us. And fortunately, there is another element to this that I didn't mention. Not only did we do Indy for 12 years, which gave previous board members, and we had a few board members who were around during that experience, but we also got involved with NASCAR way back in 2011 when they moved to the E15 blend in their fuel choice. And so we were a big part of working on that at the national level. And so it's been a natural progression for us to be able to utilize ethanol and how this platform can promote that. So yes, it was easy to have them see it. It was more difficult to go, but will it pay for us? And look, farmers are very discerning when it comes to how they want to spend their dollars, and rightly so. There are lots of choices that we can make, and for us, what we've been able to show, we've gone. And I know maybe all your listeners don't know exactly what a bushel is, but I'll put this in perspective. In Iowa, we produce about 2.5 billion bushels of corn. Okay, 2.5 billion with a B. In the year 2000, we were only using 170 million bushels for ethanol. Today in Iowa, we use over 1.5 billion bushels, or 60% of our crop in ethanol. What does that mean? That means that it is an extremely important market. We produce 30% of the nation's fuel. So an event like this, and as Eric pointed out, this is a year-long promotion. This isn't just about the race weekend. This is us being able to talk about working with NASCAR, the access to the whole NASCAR family, drivers, et cetera. We promote this across the state all year long. So we get a value proposition that isn't just one day or one weekend. It's a year-long promotion for us, which brings that value. So those are the kind of things that our farmers are looking for to say, how can we stretch this? How can we maximize our full experience for the consumer, making sure then that the farmer gets the payback.
Eric, you've been in NASCAR a while. You were at Kansas Speedway. I believe you were out in California, correct?
Correct.
By the way, you're the most dressed up anybody's ever been on the show. I mean, I don't know if they asked you to put on the sport coat, but it's throwing me off. It's like, God, you're really dressed up.
Thank you.
How does Iowa Speedway compare? They're all different experiences. What did you take from those former tracks, and what makes Iowa Speedway, besides being the fastest short track out there, what makes Iowa Speedway unique compared to other tracks?
Aside from the racing, I think the racing is number one as far as being a very fast short track. So that is, I think, far and above the most unique thing about the track. But what I've taken away from that is working in sponsorship for the prior 14 years of hospitality is really I'll call it the local support. So really Iowa's support. When you go track to track, it's kind of a combination of both national partners, regional partners, some local partners. But as soon as this race was announced in September 2023, Iowa Corn was right there at the announcement. And then shortly after that, you see a lot of support from other local. Iowa Lottery, for example, is another partner of ours. So Hy-Vee is another partner. So the list goes on of these Iowa companies that are supporting the racetrack, and that goes to the point earlier, is continuing to race in the future when we're seeing this much support. That's really unique. And then in addition to that, the fan support. So we're pulling a large portion of our fans from the Iowa area and the surrounding states. So you see a lot of folks that are driving to the track over the weekend as opposed to flying in. So, but in addition to that, we also have the national exposure that and international exposure that Craig mentioned earlier. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So that part's been really neat for Iowa.
When it comes to those fans, Eric, and is that the direction that? I mean, obviously, no real airport there around Newton. Folks are going to be driving in.
Right there. We flew right into it.
I mean, we flew into it. If you're Rusty, yeah, you're right. So if you get to fly in Rusty Wallace's private jet, you get to land at Newton, right? For those that aren't lucky enough to do that, is this kind of that's what you're expecting, though, right? Is that most of these folks are going to be driving in. You've got to prepare again those logistics for that sort of foot traffic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have I-80 that's coming to the racetrack, and then from I-80 we have two roads that enter the facility itself. So that needs to be clear, that we need to be very, very buttoned up on what that looks like, both on ingress and then on egress, because we have a sold out race for the Iowa Corn 350. We will announce a sellout for Saturday, and then we're pretty close on Friday as well for that ARCA Menard Series race. So looking at, like last year, pretty near a full weekend sellout, which is, again, pretty unique for a NASCAR track.
And do you find that that's like if one race is sold out and you're still waiting on the other two, obviously there's a little bit of that, there's a little bit of separation in that Venn diagram of those fans. But for the most part, if people are coming for the weekend, they're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's what we see. So most of our tickets are weekend tickets. A lot of our fans like to be out here the entire time, both from a camping perspective and just the kickoff to the weekend on Friday to make sure they're not missing anything.
Yeah. Craig, can we talk about corn sweat? Because I've learned more about corn sweat in the last couple of days than I ever thought. All the weather people are blaming the humidity on corn sweat. I'm like, I didn't even know what corn sweat was.
Don't blame the corn.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing that I think is a TikTok phenomenon that is like, so does corn perspire? Absolutely. It has always been there, but the humidity is not necessarily impacted at any particular time significantly by this. It's happened. Corn's been growing here forever. It's native actually to Mexico. So it's been growing in the North American region forever. There is nothing new or unique about corn or the humidity this year. And so that is, it's very interesting listening to, oh my gosh, the corn is doing that. Corn is actually pulling CO2 out of the air. It's a natural cleaner. There are some really cool maps that NASA has. You can actually see at the height of corn growing that there is more CO2 being captured by corn plants than in the Amazon rainforest. It's a phenomenal picture.
Wow.
So it is a natural air cleaner. And that's the part I would really want people to know about. this whole corn sweat thing it's all made up. Somebody got off on that. It perspires, absolutely. Does it contribute to some humidity? It does, but it always has. There's nothing new about that.
Yeah, it's just hotter than hell outside. It happens every year.
Well, it turns out, yes, it's summer. It's Iowa. And if you don't like it, as they say, wait 5 minutes for the weather to change, it'll be different. So
see, Craig, I want you just to come on with us and educate us, because we're, Eric, I'm sorry, most of us are Iowa boys here, right?
Yeah.
And we need more education about corn. I do. I'll be honest. So like, what percentage of the corn that we see is actually turns into sweet corn or corn that we eat as corn of the cob?
I love this question. What's your guess? Let's start with the question. What do you think of all the corn?
If 60% of your corn, if 60% of your corn is going to ethanol,
that's a good point.
I'm going to say 45% goes to feed and 5% is sweet corn.
I was going to say about 2% is sweet corn.
Okay, so I'm going to say the 2% number is really close. So here's the thing. There is a difference between field corn and sweet corn. Of the acres planted to corn in the state of Iowa, and actually this is more of a national number as well, less than 1% is actually sweet corn that we would eat like corn on the cob. Okay. 99% of all the corn is field corn, which goes into ethanol, animal feed. It can wind up, of course, in our food because you get starch, you get sugars, you get all those products which are added. So the average grocery store, for example, has about 4,000 products that contain some form of corn. Most of that is going to be field corn because it's everything from milk and eggs that the chickens ate the corn and the cows ate the corn, et cetera, to produce the milk, to produce the steaks, to produce the hot dogs, et cetera. But then, of course, it goes into starches or binders. So what does that mean? You use starch in things like makeup, even car tires, batteries. It is just in so many different things. And then there's the sweetener piece of that, where you can use sweetener in all sorts of baked goods and canned goods, et cetera. So that's all field corn. But the corn on the cob that we eat, or that winds up maybe in canned corn or freezer corn that you eat, that's less than 1%.
All right, Eric, since you're from Kansas, you need to break down wheat for us now.
Yes. Well, I was going to point something out, guys. So I grew up in rural Kansas, small town, my whole life until moving here to Iowa a year and a half ago, right? And surrounded by wheat fields, like you just mentioned. I have learned more in the past year and a half about corn than I've learned about any topic in my entire life. And it has been really fun to do.
They didn't tell you that. Hey, when you take their dollars to sponsor, it includes weekly classes on what you're actually helping promote.
And I'm okay with that because this racetrack is surrounded by cornfields, and I mean that literally. So in fact, we have a 7-acre corn plot as you're coming into the facility that we worked with John Deere for them to plant an Iowa corn logo as a welcome message. So 7-acre welcome message coming into the track.
So do you have to see it from above, or can you see it from, or how do people see this?
So it's so large that given the slope of that field over there, you have to see it from a drone shot, and you'll see it from the NBC shots over the weekend.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
By the way, you went to Emporia State. See, we did our homework here. I got to be honest. Emporia State has one of the best mascot names. It's a hornet, Ross. You don't see a hornet that often as a mascot. That's a good mascot.
That's a great point. You did do your research on this, and I appreciate that. So yeah, we got Corky the Hornet, and that was a lot of fun. Again, just a smaller school in the middle of Kansas, but really appreciated and enjoyed my time there.
Yeah, I always just drive through on the turnpike. I'm like, do I want to get off? Nope, I'm going to keep going, trying to get to Stillwater. Before we wrap this up, obviously a busy weekend. You're expecting large crowds. Take us through the activities of anything going on today, and just some advice for fans who are going there this weekend.
Yeah, some advice. So we're actually kicking off the weekend with something we haven't done before. And tonight in downtown Des Moines in Coles Commons, we're hosting an event called NASCAR's Iowa Fan Fest. I know we'll have our partners from Iowa Corn there as well. And that's an event that we're hosting. It's open to the public. Bring your family out. Come have some fun. NASCAR Experience will be there. Like I said, our partners are activating, and a really fun opportunity to, get some swag, get some gear, and kick off the weekend. So that's a fun thing tonight. And then tomorrow, of course, we are ARCA Menard Series racing at night, but the track is open a majority of the day tomorrow. We have camper load in today, so we'll have all those folks lined up here in about 30 minutes ready to get in. And then moving us into Saturday. Saturday morning, there will be events going on out in our midway display all morning. So as soon as the parking lot's open and fans are out here, that NASCAR experience, as well as our partners, will be activating. And one other fun thing on Saturday night. So after Checkered Flag, after that Hy-Vee Perks 250 Xfinity race, up in turn 4, for all the fans that attended the race, we are hosting a concert. We have a stage, a permanent stage up there. It's actually right behind the Iowa Corn tent. And the Jared Stout Band, which is a local Iowa country band, they'll be playing for all of the fans coming out. So I would encourage everybody, campers, fans, to stick around and come out and just have a really good time on Saturday night. And then, of course, Sunday is the big day. A couple new things going on that day, even prior to Green Flag. I mentioned something earlier about improving the fan experience. So we have a pass that we sell called Fan Walk, which allows fans to go down on the infield, go down on the track, and they can sign the start-finish line. They can go take a picture next to the NASCAR Cup Series cars that are gridded right on pit road. They can watch driver intros. They're right up there by the stage. A new thing we have this year is the Busch Light Summer Music Series. So Corey Kent will be playing a concert during pre-race as well. Okay, so we have all this stuff going on. How do people get down there? Well, last year we only had 2 very small access points to walk over the track through the catch fence itself. So you can kind of see a throughput issue there, and you got a lot of lines. Over the winter, we worked with our team in Daytona, and we added 6 double gates. So we went from 2 singles to 6 doubles. So that spans the entire front stretch. So if you have that wristband to go to the infield, you walk down the stairs. We'll have a staircase right there. You can walk out to the concert, sign the start-finish line, and walk back up. We also have trams that are running all weekend long to get fans down there. We want as many people as possible to come down and enjoy that prior to the Iowa Corn 350.
That's back when NASCAR took off, it was about the fan experience, the access to the drivers. That's how NASCAR got so popular. Good stuff, Craig. And when we have more corn questions, can you come on with us?
I would be pleased to come on with you. We can talk corn anytime you want. Of course, we'll have the Cyhawk series coming up as well that we sponsor. We'd love to come on and chat with you during that time too. And I might add, with the fan experience this afternoon at Cowles Commons, and this evening, we have our Iowa Corn, what we call our Iowa Corn 101 trailer. It is really an awesome experience to walk through and learn all sorts of basic stuff about corn. We have this all over the state all the time. If you haven't been through it, or if your listeners haven't been through it, it will not only be there this afternoon, it will also be out at the Speedway all weekend long. Take 10 minutes and go through that. We have some really awesome people that will guide you through the whole corn process. So if you're really interested in learning about corn, guys, we're more than happy to share.
Every Iowa should be required learning. That's what that should be.
You should be at the state fair. Are you at the state fair with this thing next
week? We are indeed. We are there.
Yeah, so they should put you down. They should put you down by the grand entrance, and everybody has to walk through it. Here's your ticket. There you go, through the Iowa Corn. Learn for 10 minutes about the corn, and then you can go enjoy the fair.
Iowa Corn Day at the fair is August 15th. We are on the Grand Corn Course. Our trailer is there. We have a big tent, lots of giveaways, a scavenger hunt, all sorts of fun stuff. And I also want to mention, in case there's any of our farmers that are listening, we have green t-shirts this weekend. We'll have over 1,000 people in our tent at the Iowa Speedway. They're all in green t-shirts. They all get to go do that fan experience thing. It's going to be awesome for our Iowa's corn farmers and their families.
Iowa Corn Green or John Deere Green?
It's Iowa Corn Green.
Good stuff. All right, Eric, Craig, thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and thanks for taking the time with us today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you. Craig Floss and Eric Peterson from the Iowa Speedway, and of course, Iowa Corn. Good. I learned some stuff there. I had to bring up corn sweat, though. You know that. I had to bring up corn sweat. Everybody can talk about corn sweat.
So many dumb questions for Craig. That's
we're going to have to bring Craig back on for like another segment, like in football season, and just fire a question, especially when they start picking, right? When they start picking.
Can I tell you why I think Craig would be such a fascinating dude? Just on the surface anyway. We've talked about farmers. We all are a generation or two, maybe 3 removed from the farmer. You probably remember your grandpa that's a farmer. And you're like, oh man, he was a smart guy, but stubborn old bird, right? Because the dude was his own boss for 80 years. He was his own boss, made his own decisions. Every day he decided what to do, when to do, how to do. And so imagine being in, like, Craig's job then as the CEO of Iowa Corn is to be the boss of a bunch of guys that have never had a boss. Be the boss of a bunch of guys who don't want a boss, who don't need a boss.
See, that takes tremendous people skills.
That's why
you got to navigate that, right? You're navigating that.
I bet something tells me Craig is good at chess. Now, whether he's played whether he's played chess or not, you see what I'm saying? Like he's
playing chess here, boys. We're not playing checkers. We're not playing checkers.
I've been just my time at WHO. I was around enough farmers to see. I'd see my grandpa in all of them. In every one of them, you'd see that humble servant. You know what I mean? But smart on everything, stubborn on most things.
Yes, 100%. Hey, don't forget, you heard him say the Iowa Corn 350 is sold out. Well, it is, but you can get yourself a pair of tickets. We have 2 pair of tickets to give away. We're going to do that tomorrow. We'll make the announcement tomorrow while we're at Central City Liquors. They're electronic tickets, so you don't have to worry about picking up tickets. Remember in the old days, well, you got to come by the station and pick up the tickets. No, we can get these tickets to you almost instantaneously, but we'll make the announcement tomorrow. You still have a chance. Go to therushradio.com. That's therushradio.com. Click on the promotions tab. Just enter your name, your telephone number, your email address, and you're going to be registered to win those Iowa Corn 350 tickets from the Rush Radio Show. Bruno is scheduled to join us when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. We got some great stuff going on this month. This month, we actually have 0% all the way out to 60 months on a brand new 2025 QX60 and 0% out to 36 months on both 80s, 50s, and 55s. Of course, we do offer loyalty still on the QX60s and 50s and 55s. For more information, visit us online at willisinfinity.com or see us in our showroom.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hey, it's Marion over at Land Rover Des Moines, and I have one question. When was the last time you got an oil change? If it's been a while, come on down and take advantage of our new express service, where we'll get your oil change done in and out same day. Swing on by to drop off your car, schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Don't forget, in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn grows feed for our livestock, food for our families, and clean burning fuel. From your drive to the game, drive clean with Unleaded 88 and support Iowa corn farmers. Go to iowacorn.org to pump it up with Unleaded 88. Don't forget, we're going to be live at Central City Liquors tomorrow, unveiling the... And by the way, Brian Duack just let us know he was wrong on the number of bottles. There's not many bottles, and he kind of put us to a test tomorrow. He wants there's only 150 bottles total because they went with the cask strength.
Oh, okay.
So we went with the better stuff. Brian picked the better stuff. It's cask strength. Only 150 bottles available. So and I don't think there's a limit on the bottles you can buy tomorrow. So if you want to buy 4 or 5, feel free to do so. Make good gifts. He was gone last week, but he's back. He's back. Bruno, what's going on, man?
What's up?
What are you doing?
Just waiting for you guys to let me on.
Oh my God! It's 7:35.
No, I was in a panic like 5 minutes ago. Nothing was hooked up. So
you last week. You were at where did we decide he was last week?
I don't know.
Cannes
conference?
Music. Yeah, Cannes Music or Film Festival or something like that. Is that where you were?
Close. Collinsville,
Monaco?
Collinsville, Illinois.
That's
home of the world's largest catsup bottle.
Catsup.
KATSUP.
Yeah.
Now, is there seriously, because there's obviously a distinction there, right? What?
I don't know. From what my friend said, who's a little bit older, he said my mom used to have a bottle of that, and it was really leathery. So maybe it's really thick. I don't know.
Now, Travis, did you just understand catsup and ketchup to be different names for the same thing?
Yeah.
Like tomato. I kind of did too, but it's a different
I did too,
thing.
But I believe it's a different product. I mean, it's like, I don't know, salsa and picante sauce or whatever, you know. I'm sure it's very similar.
Pace Picante, made in Albuquerque.
So how
New
big?
Jersey.
How big is the world's biggest catsup bottle?
Oh, it's a water tower. It's just an old water tower.
That's like Stanton, Iowa has like the largest teacup, and you pull into Stanton, and you're like, oh, it's a water tower. See what you did there? You made a water tower look like a teacup.
Yeah, but guess what? They got you to come to that town.
Drove past a brewery in my trip to Wisconsin. I don't remember which brewery it was, but it had like 6 vats outside, and their claim to fame was the world's largest 6-pack.
Oh, that's old style. It's City Lager now, but it used to be the old style brewery in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
I was in La Crosse. There you go. That's exactly you knew. That's awesome that you knew what that was. La Crosse is a cool town, Bruno.
I am full of useless knowledge.
You are.
Except for when it comes to the radio, I'm a fountain of knowledge.
So let's test this knowledge, and I'm completely in the dark about what happened here. But a legend in the microbrewing community passed away. I heard this story. Is it New Albion Brewing Company?
Oh, Jack McCullough passed away?
Is that who it was that started that?
Let's not kill somebody off before we really know them.
I will tell you this: it wouldn't be like he's original. He's like mid 70s. He was.
I heard a story the other day about the original launch of microbrewing and how the first guys to be able to do it and actually make some money doing it, and he just passed away. And I thought it was New Albion.
I might be wrong about this, but the fact that you're saying New Albion, it's got to be Jack McCullough. He I might not be exactly right here, but I don't think without Jack McCullough, Ken Grossman at Sierra Nevada would ever been able to get going.
Yep. Yep, they confirmed his passing earlier this month. Jack McAuliffe, the founder of New Albion Brewing Company, died at the age of 80, widely recognized as the pioneer of the craft beer movement.
He really is.
Like nationwide?
They say Fritz Maytag kind of kicked it off. And that's only because he kind of saved, not only, but he saved Anchor Brewing in 1965. He saved a brewery that had been around for 100 years. And now there's nothing wrong with that, because he started bringing back and doing all these old time beers that they weren't probably doing at Anchor. So he started to kind of kick it off, but that was a existing brewery. Jack started like with dairy equipment and all these things to pull together a brewery to make it work. He was on he was in the Navy. He might've been on a nuclear submarine. I can't remember. But when they were in Scotland docked for a while, he went into town and tried their beer, and he was really impressed. The El Bay Shop was the last place that Jack McCullough ever had was out in public. He was on tour, so the guy's really like old time. He crossed the center line when he was driving and got hit. His car got hit, and he lost the use of his left arm for the rest of his life. So he had a hard time having enough money. So Jim Cook, the owner of Sam Adams of Boston Beer Company, made a batch of New Albion Pale for sale across the United States. And then Jack just had to go out and kind of say, "Hey, I'm Jack, and I did all this." That wasn't really his thing. He pulled me out to the side for two things. I heard that he liked Limburger cheese, so I went to the cheese shop and got two bricks of that. And he pulled me out to the side. And we were talking, and he goes, "What's that cheese there?" I go, "You can have it." He put it in his front pocket he's like, "I want to have that in the hotel room tonight." I'm like, "Oh my, that's gonna stink that thing up." And then he he said, I go, "This is really cool that you're here." And he's like, "Yeah, this is I can't take it anymore. This is the last one I'm ever gonna do." So I think the last one he ever did was at the Bay Shop. And just recently, kind of annoying, but I had a signed New Albion Boston Beer poster at the Bay Shop, and somebody stole it.
Are you sure? Does that happen a lot? Do people see?
Well,
some
that's
of that
why
memorabilia?
everything's screwed down, but the glass had broken out of it, so they reached up and pulled the paper out of it. At least that's what I think. I don't know who would have even known what they had if they got it, but
who's the worst? People.
People are the worst.
People are the worst.
There was a Bud guy that used to go around downtown, and there's a really big Miller guy, and the Miller guy would hang posters up, and the Bud guy would come in behind him and tear his posters down and put up the stuff. There was lives threatened. I mean, there is just like, I don't get why people do.
When you say really big Miller guy, do you mean just like a big man
yeah, not a high.
Yeah, I know who that guy is. I know who that guy was. Chad Ira?
I was gonna say, is that our friend from Altoona?
Yeah.
And
that's not a dude you'd mess with. He's built like a mountain.
No, yeah. If he punched you and you did a still life of it, your entire face would be eclipsed by his fist. He's a big person.
But a really, really sweet man.
I
really,
love the guy.
Really sweet guy.
So we did all these trips. So we went to Germany to do the Hessen House. We went to Britain to go and check out British pubs to open up the Royal Mile. We went. I went to the Great American Beer Festival for El Bay Shop, but we went on a road trip to Milwaukee through Wisconsin, all the bars in the out there in the world, through Wisconsin, rural Wisconsin, which there's a ton of them.
Oh, and did you take 151 from Dubuque through Madison to Milwaukee?
We went with Chad Ira, and we went to all these places. So when I picked up my dog a couple years back, I told my wife, she's like, "Okay, it looks like we're 40 miles away. I go, "I guarantee you," and we started counting. I was right. "I guarantee you we'll see a dozen bars on the way between there."
Yeah.
There was literally a bar with a cardboard sign and it was their garage. And it's just a big sign that says bar, bar here.
Bar.
And so it's
like the old white labeled beer can just said beer.
They're so freewheeling with their liquor laws there. I just read a story about a kid who was shut down. He was selling like bait and tackle and ice cream and different things to people who were fishing at a lake in that area. And they came in after 2 days. He was having some pretty good success because no one had set up a business. 15-year-old kid. They came in and said, "Where's your license to sell all this stuff?" They shut him down. The grandfather is super mad. I thought about saving that story today. That was a pretty good one, though. I didn't think I'd talk about Wisconsin. But I love that. I loved all the trips we've taken for all the places we've had, all the people I've met. I've had Ken Grossman in the cooler at the bait shop. I've had Eric Wallace from Left Hand. I could just do this.
You're just name dropping. You're just
the very
name
first
dropping.
day.
I'm glad that you knew Jack McAuliffe. I gave you like the very least bit of information I could. A guy died is basically what I said to you, and you're like, oh, you didn't even know he died. But you're right. That's who we're talking about.
I mean, I don't pay attention to real news. I pay attention to important news, but just is a little bit. It's important to me, but not to everyone else. I want to tell you about big country news. It was reported on July 15th in Ada County, Idaho. A sheriff's office is asking for public help in identifying a rogue booty slapper in and around the Boise area, in around South Boise. The perp who rides his electric dirt bike. This is why I thought it'd be good, because it sounds a lot like something I might have but not do. Typically approaches women. So it's not.
So maybe, not all the time. Typically means 85%.
And slaps or grabs their buttocks as he rides by. He's described as a white male wearing dark clothing, a ski mask, and gloves.
Well, he's wearing a ski mask in July.
Ski mask and gloves.
Well, here's the I know he's not
indicator that
he's not even getting a full feel.
Yeah,
if he's got gloves on. I just thought, you hear all these crimes and terrible things happening in the world, and I would really like it if we lived in a world where this is public enemy number one, right?
Yeah, that'd be I mean, good point. That'd be great if this were the guy that were most wanted.
So you guys didn't say anything. Have you guys been talking? That's I know it's early, but it's the 6-month birthday to the Rush, right? Pretty much right now.
No, we went on January 27th, so it would have been.
So it would have been last week. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Okay, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. First time. This is the anniversary of your first appearance on 6-month.
I wasn't on.
Yeah.
It's also Harry Potter's birthday today, so everyone happy Harry Potter birthday. J.K. Rowling's actually, that's her birthday.
Okay.
And it's actually my birthday. You're supposed to.
Is it really?
Today's your birthday? Oh, happy birthday, buddy.
Are you 55 today or 54?
No.
Double nickels.
Double nickels.
Really? Wow.
Remember Sean? We used to make fun of Sean because he hooked up when he was early 20s. Hooked up.
Yeah,
with
that's right. That's right. I forgot about double nickels.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm wearing. My wife said there's a package in the mail. They're in Vermont right now. Package in the mail. You can open it on your birthday. So I got my new Cole Palmer Chelsea jersey today. We're in the heat of the summer transfer window. I'm sure you guys. I don't want to talk any more about what you guys probably already talked about.
Yeah, we broke down soccer. So yeah, we exhausted all the soccer stuff earlier when we were talking about the goalies and the ball.
The ball
and the rules. We talked about some of the rules. That was a really good conversation, Travis. Remember when we talked about the rules?
Yeah,
the
this
rules.
Is the time of year you always talk about the new rules they're introducing for this year.
Broke down the
anyway.
offsides.
Yeah, so much so I feel like we probably shouldn't even. We just move on.
Yeah, don't need to touch it.
Let's just
hey,
move on.
with Lucky Horse being in the Drake neighborhood, now I'm getting all serious. And it's probably the worst kept secret, and it's probably nothing new. But there was an article in the Registry the other day about Toppling Goliath, no longer part of that development in the Drake neighborhood. What happened there? Money?
I'm going to tell you, and we're going to talk a lot about this over the coming months. The brewing industry isn't what it used to be. The brewing business. We've talked about business, and you can be a restaurant business, and everyone, the music business. You can concentrate on the first word of that, but if you're not concentrating on the second word, you're going to go out of business. And Clark decided that it might not be the best time right now. There is a dip in, I think it's 5% down in craft beer sales. There's a dip in sales. There's a time to start focusing in on the business. He told me he's doing really well. His brewery is doing great. And I've been preaching this with all the stuff I do. You gotta stay in your lane. You gotta focus on what you know. And quite frankly, a brewery out of Decorah doesn't know anything about Des Moines. So, and they're going to have to learn a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just not in their best interest. It's not going to they'd be better off to try to figure out how they can sell a trailer full of beer than to try to come down to Des Moines. It was sort of always maybe not going to work out. I've been talking to him a lot over the last couple of years, and it just didn't work out. It's a business decision, and I think it's a good one. I still want to support his brand, and I think his beer is still some of the best beer in Iowa. He has the best IPAs. I mean, on whole, the best like mass produced. Pseudo Sue is better than anything made in Iowa, as far as I'm concerned. Because they are almost a national brand. They are I've seen lineups in Phoenix. Toppling Goliath arrives, people get in line. They're in quite a few places. I believe they're in other parts of the world. They're not even just in America.
Hell, they're in Costco.
Well, Costco. What is that? One of the former Soviet bloc nations? When you said that, I was like, kind of like, well, okay, no, you meant the store.
Well, it's interesting on expansion because I'll use Big Grove. Big Grove is coming to Omaha. I mean, they've got they're doing a coffee shop, they're doing a brewery, and so it's just understanding and the danger of this is I remember when Toppling Goliath announced that they were coming to Des Moines. They were on the show.
Oh,
they were on the show.
I was so excited.
Clark told me to go ahead and announce it.
Yeah, and so it was one of those you want to build hype, and then when it doesn't happen, people go, see, you throw something out there and it doesn't happen. But it takes money to make this happen. And you mentioned a business decision.
It's happened to me a lot of times where I've said something and we ended up not doing it. Sometimes it's worth getting it out there early because you want people thinking about it. But I will say, regardless, everyone's talking about Toppling Goliath.
Yeah. And they still make, and as Clark said, still make great beer. Brewery's still doing fine. There's a lot of examples of this
in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Yeah,
they do well in a lot of places. So,
Bruno, we've seen other local in Des Moines. We should understand this. Bebops. The number of times I'm in like some other community and you can't, and you try a burger and you're like, Bebops would kill it here.
It flopped in Omaha.
They tried it.
How many times do you think I've been asked to I have a list in my emails of saved emails from people. You should come to my town, mostly West Des Moines or western suburbs.
Yeah.
It didn't work out for us.
You like that urban core, right? I mean, that's where you find the most success is that urban core.
It's the richest of all old buildings. It looks the best, Quite frankly, I got to Des Moines in 92, 93, and it's sort of like Omaha for you. Back in that day, Boys Town was out in the countryside.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, Atlantic Bottling, Gilchrist Jewett. We had to drive out of town for a couple miles before we got to it. Now that's way inside, and it just sprawls way out. And all those places were cornfields, and there's nothing exciting about a cornfield that now has a modern building on it, strip mall or any of these things. To me, there's no beauty in it. It's not fun. I like to look at old brick and old, pieces of architecture and stuff.
It's part of your brand.
Yeah, I was thinking about it recently. We're sort of like Disney World or Disneyland, and we're constantly, or Adventureland, and we always announcing, here's the new ride, here's the new thing. We're trying to keep relevant, and the Empire is the new one that we're going to do, and it's a 1905 tavern. It was there in 1905. We are reopening after being closed for 120 years. It's going to be fun. We're going to try to do some stuff that feels like it's 1905, but ultimately we're also not. We're realistic. No one.
1905 beer prices. I'm gonna write that down. That's a great idea.
No females allowed, and you can only stand at the bar. We're not doing a lot of the things that they used to do. I will tell you. Speaking of, we are working
spittoons down by the floor.
We need to perfect it, and here's one of those. You said you're going to do it, and now you didn't, but we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to have beer rocks, which in Omaha you may know them as runzas.
Oh, really?
So we're going to do our own in-house made different versions of those.
I'm not being a smart ass here. Like a sandwich.
Well, it's like a
Runza's
bread. It's just like
Loose
a
meat
meat
and bread.
stuff. It's like a loose meat inside of a bun. A runza is the traditional beer rock is like cabbage and onion and beef, ground beef or whatever, and then they mix it up and then they put it in the dough and then they bake it and it's all.
Travis, is that a term you're familiar with? Beer rock?
It's a runza over here.
Okay, yeah.
And so
it's what they are. It's technically what they are, but runzas is the name of the guy who
started it over there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're means beer bread in German. Here's a couple quick ones. International Beer Day tomorrow, so go out and have a beer. Bait Shop, High Life, and all Iowa Tapper and all the rest. The library's cooler just went back online, so Tap Beer is back off vacation and on. So come on down. I'll be there actually the next couple days. It's the first Friday in the East Village, so get out there, have some fun. What else is there? Truman's has music, as always. Hinterland's, little pro tip, Hinterland's coming up, fair's coming up. If you don't want to be out in the hot sun or you're done being out in the hot sun and you want to go cool off, come to one of our places during all these things. Yeah. Oh, and the Brady Bunch cocktail menu at Ken's, a new fun thing. And
the Brady Bunch menu?
Yeah, it's like Marcia Margarita. Or Marcia Marshmallow and some other things. I read it. It's kind of funny. All sorts of new food and stuff. We have speaking of the fair, we have basically our take on the crescente as a pizza at Truman's for the month of August. And black garlic pepperoni pineapple pizza at Fong's. So
yes, I had lunch at Fong's the other day.
Lots of great reasons to get out and go downtown. The patio is bumping at all of our places. And the Empire, I'm telling you right now, people are going to be blown away if they ever went to the original Fong's, because if we walked you in blindfolded and took it off, you wouldn't know where you're at. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be very straightforward, and the prices are going to be right. Here's one thing that I won't go back off of. Prices will be between $4 and $6 for a substantial amount of the drinks that are available there. Tap beers for $4.
All right, Bruno, come see us at Central City Liquors tomorrow. We'll be there at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Get up and come down and say hi to us.
6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
That's the time
live.
we start. Yeah, we do the show every morning at 6 a.m.
Are you in town, Travis, then?
Yeah,
tonight?
I'll be there. I'll be there tonight, too. I'm spending the night with Brooks.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm spending the night.
Good
luck. He told me I'm in the elephant room. I go, I don't know what that means, but we'll
sign me up.
All right.
All right. See you, Bruno.
Yeah, make sure you guard your privates.
I will. Yeah. Speaking of Brooks and JR South Fork Ranch, we're going to be live at the State Fair next Friday at JR South Fork Ranch. So make sure to, I don't know if you can come out that early and see us or not, but when you are at the State Fair, JR South Fork Ranch is the place to be. All sorts of really good stuff.
Hey, if you want to include me, give me a call tonight. I'm kid free. I come hang out with you and Brooksy. We can chat about life.
Late, but I'll call.
Oh, okay. Already the excuses. Already the excuse. I get it. No, it's okay. You know what? I'm golfing anyway. Don't forget about it. Okay.
It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
It's Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. July is here, and so is the hot summer heat. Now is the best time to get your Mini in to make sure it and your air conditioning is ready for your motoring adventures this summer. Visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com or give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience Links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.